Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. Thank you for watching Betty AZ YouTube channel. If you're new here, karibu sana. Guys, tonight I will call this tonight because this morning I gave out a story how I went through. I was in the hands of a very mean person, a Kenyan, a fellow countryman. This evening I will continue with part 2 of the same story. My goodness, this fly, I'm sitting outside, there's flies all over the place. Somebody asked me on another video, they were like, Betty, the flies there, do they behave like flies of Africa or they are well behaved? No, flies are flies. Mainzi zinakuanga zimejaa, I'm telling you. And especially now that is warm, the temperature is warm, so there are flies. It's just like back home. You know what, guys, I always tell you, Maju abroad is just the name. It's just because it's far from home. So even right now I'm sitting here, I'll just say, okay, but abroad, I'll call home abroad because it's far away. You know what I mean? So you are, wherever you are abroad. So you can see I'm sitting outside because you know what, when you have kids, sometimes you try to look for a spot to do your video, you can't find a spot and you have to sneak outside and kind of do it where you can find some peace. So this is like my me time and I'm enjoying doing this video. And guys, let me tell you, it's not easy. The struggle is real. The people who do YouTube, the YouTubers who have kids, they know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you have to sneak outside and do the video. By the way, as you can see, it's bright. It's still bright outside. Guess what time is it? Did you guess? It is 7:30 p.m. Jioni. Yeah, summertime. The sun is always out until, it's always bright until like sometimes even up to like 10 p.m. you'll find it's still bright outside. Right now it's 7:30 p.m. and believe it or not, it feels like day. And then by 4 a.m. around 4:30 it's bright. So we have longer days during summer and we have shorter days during winter. So it's evening, so excuse me, no makeups, nothing. I have been sweating. I'm still the same girl the way I was this morning. So let's continue with part 2. Okay, guys, so this person, as I was saying, I'll go back a little bit. I'll touch a little bit. If you did not watch part 1 of this story, please go back and watch part 1 so that you can follow. You can follow this story. So now this man, as I was saying, he decided, you know, he was like, okay, now we are leaving the house. I'll start from where I stopped, you know, from the house. So he was going to work, so I had to follow him with my groceries in the morning, my water. We got in the car and then he dropped me. He was supposed to drop me back to my address. So because the address where I was going was a gate, this place was the house was in a gated community. If you come to Arizona, most of the houses, they are in a gated community. Not all of them, but some of them. So sometimes the gates are locked and you have to have the a code to get in the neighborhood. In fact, most of a lot of newer neighborhoods are like that nowadays. You have to use a code. So me, I did not have a gate code. This person was so evil because I tried to tell him, I said, you know what? Let me call my friend. I did not know about the gate code because you know what, guys? People have those magnets they push on the you know, like they just open as soon as you come. It's like when you have your own garage, all you do is to push your little button and you open your garage. Same thing as the gates, you know. If you're driving with somebody who lives in the neighborhood and they have, you know, they have the way of opening, they just open it, you don't even realize. Or maybe they pull close to the gate, you don't realize, you know, these little things. And you know, we've never seen that back, you know, like for me, I never saw that. I never, let me say, it was a new thing to me. It was like everything was just new. So anyway, this person, he could not wait. He didn't have the patience. And guess what? It was like 5. It wasn't even 5:30. It was like 5:10 or something. Very early in the morning. So he was not patient enough for me to call my friend and ask for the gate code. I asked him, I said, oh, please, I'm sorry, let me wait. Let me call my friend and see if she can give me the code. Oh. No, he was not going to wait a minute. Before I know it, everything was doomed down. He put all my groceries down, my water, my everything. I had some vegetables for what? 5:30 in the morning. I'm standing by the gate. So even if I walked, I could not have walked with all these things because I have a lot of shopping and it wasn't too much. But the fact that I had the case of water, I could have carried the groceries, but because I had the case of water, you know, the 24 pack, I'm telling you, I stood there and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. So this lady came, the newspaper lady, and she was like, oh my goodness, what are you doing early in the morning? And by the way, even the language was a problem. You know, these African Americans, sometimes they will talk to you, and especially when you're new in the country and you're like, huh, what are they saying? They can talk fast, you know? So she was like, you okay? Oh, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing here in the morning? Okay. And I was like, okay, where are they via to? You know, I could not even, I said, oh, ma'am, I don't know where I'm going, you know. No. So anyway, she was really kind. She helped me. I loaded my groceries and she pushed the newspapers. She made room. She had to make room in her car. So she pushed all the newspapers on the side. I went in and she put my groceries and my water in the car, in her van. Actually, it was the van, and then we drove off. And, you know, we went around and I spotted the house and I got home and she was like, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I said, somebody did not wait for me. Who was that? She could not believe it. She was like, wow, somebody dropped you at the gate. And by the way, the distance between from the gate to the house was far. I cannot tell you it was somewhere I could have walked, yes, but without the groceries. And I didn't even, if it was not for this lady, sijui ningefanya nini. Anyway, so that is how I ended up home. I told my friend everything that was going on. Anyway, I was updating her on the phone. I said, you know, texting because I could not have called. I am telling you guys, all this time I was in this man's house, it was the longest night of my life. You know, I was asking myself, my goodness, what if? And accidentally, I fell asleep on the couch, you know, and I slept off and you know, I snored, and that's why he came out and started yelling at me that I'm snoring. You know, like he was yelling, he didn't want me to snore, and because I was tired and I had gone, it was a rough day for me. Of course, I snored, you know. And then, by the way, guys, I did not mention that time he was yelling at me, he came back again after like an hour, and this time I was up. I was just sitting on the couch like this with my pants, with my socks, with my like my trouser, everything. I was dressed, even my shoes I could not remove. I was just sitting there, and he came out again, and I was scared. He said, well, if you want to sleep on my bed, if you're not comfortable, you can come and sleep on. You can have half of my bed. I'm not gonna do anything for you. What do you think I'm gonna do to you? You think I'm gonna hurt you? And I said, no. I'm very comfortable here. It's okay. Then he said, then you need to behave yourself. You need to know that you're in somebody's house. I have to go to work now. Anyway. I was not in the mood for his whatever he was yelling at. I said, I'm so sorry, and I looked down and I said, okay, I'm not gonna snore again. I will not sleep. And by the way, I did not sleep. Oh no. And especially when he started telling me to go sleep on one side of his bed, no, I said no. Anyway, I told my friend about all this. She was pissed off, and oh my goodness, up to date, I don't think they've ever talked again, because this person, she decided to cut him off completely out of his life, out of her life. Anyway, shocking enough, there is somebody that this guy told the story. He said, I learned this later on. He said, oh, That girl, she was acting all sweet, all beautiful and all cute and all everything. You know what? I wanted to give her all this Jack Daniel so that I can knock her off and do 1, 2, 3, take advantage of her and throw out on the streets. Can you believe that, guys? This person wanted to knock me off with this Jack Daniel. So that I can knock off completely. Like, he thought I was so stupid to drink a whole jug. And I'm talking about those, those glasses written Coca-Cola, like big ones like this. A whole glass of Jack Daniel. He thought I'm gonna drink it. His plan was, oh, my mouth is so dry. He wanted me to drink this Jack Daniel, knock me off, and then throw me on the street. And before throwing me on the street, he wanted to take advantage of me. That means this person wanted to, I don't even want to say it, guys. Can you believe how evil? How would even somebody think like that? Hey, I am telling you. But let me tell you one thing. Guys, everywhere you go, learn how to be. When you buy a phone in a new country, the first contact you're supposed to have is emergency contact. Know how to call emergency. In this country, when you land in the US and you're in trouble, always dial 911. They will come. Even if you don't know your address, as soon as you call and you don't have their address, they will track you and they will find you. So my head was ready that in case he touched me, I will call 911 very fast. Thank God he did not touch me. And he thought I'm so stupid that I'm going to share the bed with him. But no. I did not. As I told you guys, I am telling you, I don't even remember using the bathroom in that house. I could not move. I decided to stay like where I was. Right after that, ugali and fish, and I ate just a little bit. I made sure even water I was sipping because I didn't want to have a chance of going to the bathroom in this house. And you never know, you go to the bathroom, the next minute he'll be knocking on your door. You know what I mean? Anyway, that was very scary. And my friend decided to cut this person off because she realized that he was inhuman, he was crazy, and whatever he was on or whatever he had smoked, I don't know. But this person, I came to learn, and I heard rumors that I think later on he brought his family in the US, and he was mean and horrible, and I don't know, I don't follow up about his life, but I heard a little bit that he brought his family and he was bad and mean, and I think they went separate ways. I don't know. Anyway, I don't even care about where he went, but thank God I'm safe. Anyway, this brought me to about this host issue. The other day I talked about host, how you can find a host. Imagine this person, let's say I was introduced to this person, that this person will host me. And yes, he's like, what do you call this? Like a narcissist. This person would have taken because he had the power to take advantage of me, and he had the power because he was the one taking me point want to be. Imagine if I didn't have anywhere to go. Imagine if I did not have this friend, the address I was go. Imagine if I was gonna stay with this friend for a week. Imagine if I was gonna stay with this friend until I settle down. You imagine. And I'm a woman. So guys, this is why sometimes I freak out when I hear people saying I met a man online and I'm going to meet him in a different country. It freaks me out. Because you know what? This man gave me so much fear. He made me fear even the thought of going to a man stranger. I'm a grown woman right now. Yes, I'm almost 40, but believe it or not, it really made me, this made me think about women. Sometimes we can be very vulnerable, like somebody can take advantage of you just because you don't have money, just because you don't have anywhere to go. And that's why you find a lot of men, they take advantage, even they abuse. You find a lot of domestic violence because this man knows you cannot go anywhere. You have the kids, you don't have money, you're not gonna go anywhere. So for me, it was a lot of things running in my mind. There was so much going in my mind, and I thought about a woman in this situation, and I was like, my good God. And actually, maybe it can happen to a man, but in this situation I was thinking about now, imagine if I was introduced to this guy and I was told, go to him, he will receive you at the airport. This person could have done, like, he could have taken advantage and used me, my body and everything, just because I did not have the power, and bossing me around and shutting me off. I could not have done nothing, because you know what, as you are so vulnerable, you are powerless, you don't have anything to do, you are helpless. Where would you go? Like that time we were going around and I was just thinking, what do I do? I have bought these shoes for $65. I have only $30 left. Even if I want to call a taxi, where do I start? I didn't have anything to do. I did not have a choice than to stick with this man. This really made my heart really, really, I don't know, my goodness, it's so sad. And actually, I always think in my heart, I don't know if I can remember, if I meet him right now, because it's been years, almost like 8 years now. I don't know if I can remember him, if I meet him physically, because it's been a long time. I only met him once. Remember, guys, this is a guy that I was introduced only for one day. And he treated me like crap for only that one day. Me, I cannot believe myself. I said, how would you have so much energy to treat somebody so bad and you met them on the first day? Maybe he had expectations. Maybe he had a certain vibe that I did not go with his vibe, because he was trying to kind of, go into some weird way. And by the way, you know what? Sometimes as women, not all the time we are so interested in relationships. Like, you bump into somebody and sometimes your mind is not even there. Even now, right now, I'm a single mom. And let me tell you right now, I have made a decision. I want to raise my little ones. If I want to be with my children's father, I can. But guess what? I just choose not to, because I know what's good for me and I know what's not good for me. So it's not always that when you see a woman, you want to run, and you think a woman can run to you just because they're desperate, just because they want help, just because, and you want to take advantage. It is so sad. Even as a woman, don't ever you take advantage of somebody just because they're helpless. You take advantage of them. Like, you can host somebody in your own house and then take advantage of this person just because they're helpless, just because they're new in the country. You think, oh my goodness, this person is the one to be taking care of my kids, period. I will never, never, never let them out of because I've had stories like that. I've had stories of people that invite people in their homes, they host them, and for like almost a whole year, they will keep you in their house and they will never show you anywhere. Yeah, this is very true, by the way. You can find a host that will keep you in their house as their house help, raising their children for like 6-7 months, for a year, until you find somebody to rescue you. They will never show you anything. So guys, if you ever meet a host that is taking you places and showing you 1, 2, 3, you better thank God and tell God asante sana, because you know what, some people can be horrible. Even they are your neighbors in the same village. Actually, some people can be your siblings too, and they will treat you the same way. They will keep you in their homes and they will never take you to any job. I'm sure you guys can relate. I'm sure you guys can understand what I'm trying to say, because we have heard of these stories. And also, actually, I had one lady told me that she was hosted by somebody, then this person, and because she was married, I think they relocated here as a family, husband and wife. So this person got their first baby because she was out of family family planning, whatever she was using, and this host could not take them to get family planning. They could not, like, show them where they could have this help. So she ended up pregnant because she was with her husband. They were hosted, her and her husband, and they did not know anywhere. But this host pretended not to know anything about family planning services. They acted like they did not know. Do you see, guys? Do you see how much even women can do to each other? It is so sad. So this woman ended up having, yes, a baby is a blessing, but they ended up having an unplanned baby because they could not. You know what? They needed these family planning services, but this host could not take them. They refused. They say they don't know where. They were busy. They were working like crazy. Some people, as soon as you land in their house, they are working 12, 16 hours a day. Every single day. And you will never see them. Every time, whenever they are off, they will tell you that they are busy. What are you going to do? You know? So, let us pray that when God give you somebody to host you, that this person will be nice to you. Another thing, and somebody reminded me, is and actually my story, what I'm giving now, this was not because of my host. Don't get me wrong, guys. This was not my host. My host, the person who I was with, they were not close by. So they were out of town, and because I needed some of these things and I didn't have a car and I was new, they wanted to help. They had good things about, good thoughts about me. So they wanted me to get some help. And because they trusted this person, that's why I ended up in the hands of a bad person. Anyway, I even told this lady, I say, well, you know what? No, it's not your fault. You did not know, because she felt so bad. She felt so sorry about this. She was like, I wish I did not introduce you to this person. I'm so sorry, but I did not mean to put you through this. And honestly, she did not know. And from that day, and now it's years later, she has never talked to this person again. Anyway, let me tell you guys. So it is so sad for somebody from your own country treating you like this. This is not a foreigner. This is not, somebody that I met online. This is not somebody, it's your country person, your countryman. You might think because they are Kenyans, oh, because this person is a Kenyan, I'm safe. Because this person, I have heard of stories, even some places of work. Some people say they meet their fellow Kenyans, they're supposed to train them, and they treat them so bad. They treat them like they are not supposed to be in that job. It is very true. And I'm not talking about Kenyans only. This can happen to anywhere in the, like people from different countries. And we all have our own life experiences. And so this is not only the Kenyans that do this, but I'm sure even people from other countries. And I'm sure it happens. But it is so sad. So guys, I thank God that I was able to stand on my feet. And this man, Satan, he wanted to take advantage of who? In Jesus' name. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus from head to toe. And this is why I always pray for protection. May God watch over. I always say, please God, watch over me. Watch over my life. Watch over my children. Please be saying the same. May God watch over you. Because you know what? Even if this man had a lot of plans which were, and by the way, this is so stupid, because what if he did something crazy to me? He could have ended up in jail. He could have ended up in prison anyway. So he was dumb to think he could have done something, knocking me off with the Jack Daniel. Satan! Yes, I'm telling you, today we are going to Lowland. It is very sad, but I thank God that I made it. And guys, we all have stories where we started. I'm telling you, some people can write a book. If we all come here and tell you stories of where we started, in this America, in Europe, in some people, they'll tell you stories of Saudi Arabia. Some people, you think it's only Saudi Arabia that you meet crazy people. No, even here. Even in this country, you can meet very mean people. Don't think it's only Saudi Arabia and those other countries that you can meet crazy. Let me tell you, if somebody is not a good person, is not a good person from deep down. If somebody is mean, if somebody is evil, they are evil, no matter where they are. Even if they travel to whichever part of the country of the world, they are evil. They don't mean well for you. So let me tell you, it's not just some part of the countries. We cannot generalize. We can all say that it's God who watches over us. It's God who leads us to good people. And when we end up in the hands of mean people like this, God's protection, God angels, they come down. That's why I told you guys, God sent me this stomach ache, because now this man, he was like, oh, you're acting like you have stomach ache. You're acting like, because I was like, oh, my stomach. I kept, I was like this the whole time because my stomach was hurting so bad. I did not have diarrhea. Thank God, because you know what, he could have killed me. Yes, imagine if I was having diarrhea in this man's house, running and making his house smell. Imagine what he could have done to me. My goodness, he could have kicked me out in the middle of the I don't even want to think about this. But guys, come to think about, some people are dangerous. Some people are very dangerous. Anyway, I thank God for this far. I thank God we all have our stories. I will come back here with more and more stories, because I want you to be prepared. When you're coming to United States, or when you're traveling to any country, just be prepared that you can end up with meeting mean people. And that is why I always encourage people. If everywhere you go, even if you find one host, please find address of some other, like 2 more 3 people, because you know what, you can find that host, they tell you they will pick you up from the airport, and they will not pick you up. Also, you can find somebody to give you their address. And by the way, somebody reminded me to say this on a comment section. When you find a host in the US and they give you their address, please, if they live like in an apartment, remind them to add your name on the mailbox, because in this country, if you don't, in some apartment complexes, if you don't indicate your name in a mailbox, the mails will not be delivered. Let's say if my name Betty is not on there's a little slot in the mailbox. If your name is not indicated there, then the mail person is not going to deliver they only deliver for the people who are indicated there. So that's one thing to tell you, people who are hosting you, that remember, if they live in an apartment, to add your name there, even if it's a house, just in case. You know what I mean? So guys, let me tell you, if you ever landed in a different country and you got a wonderful host, you thank God. Bless this host all the time and thank God for this host. And let me tell you, even if your host is not perfect, even if it's getting dark, even if your host ever did something small, to you, you can look some things, you can overlook them, because you know what, husband and wife, they fight. What about a host that is a human like you? You know what I mean? So sometimes we need to overlook, not things like that. I'm not talking about the experience I went. That one I cannot overlook, because this person had bad intentions. But I'm talking about if somebody hosted you, treated you nice, and then maybe they did something that made you uncomfortable. Some things you can overlook. Like, let's say they told you, you need to cook, or you need to clean, or you need to do this. Some of these things you need to understand, and because no one is perfect. But guys, if you end up in a mean situation like the one I was, terrible, please look for an escape route, because you know what, for me, if I was to stay with this person for a week, I could have looked, even on that Facebook itself, I could have looked for Kenyans in Arizona for them to rescue me. I could have called that 911. I could have walked to the church, because nowadays you have Google. You can Google a church near me, a school near me, a hospital near me. Anything you Google near me, it will bring you. So me, if I did not know anybody, I could not have found a Kenyan, and I was to stay with this person, I could have Googled church near me at a walking distance, and I could have used my GPS to walk to that church. It's getting dark. I think it's kicking me out of this. Okay guys, so thank you and God bless you. Just so you know, I'm safe, and so far so good. God has been faithful to me and my family, and I believe God has been faithful to you and your family. Keep watching Betty AZ. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos and more stories and more and more and more. God bless you. Bye.